In this modern world that we live in today, everybody is busy. Busy making a living, busy enjoying our lives, or just busy doing other things. Whatever we're busy about, we will face problems and challenges. But suppose I challenge you to do something every day that won't cost you anything, that you all have the ability to do, and this thing can benefit mankind in general. Would you do it? I think deep in your heart, the answer will be a resounding yes. Madam Chair, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, honored guests. My challenge to you this morning is to do one simple random act of kindness every day. A random act of kindness is a selfless act performed by a person or a group of persons for no other purpose than to make another person happier. Many years ago, when I was still in my late 20s, living in the Philippines, I was offered a big career opportunity, a human resources manager position based in Hong Kong with a multinational. As I had never traveled outside the country before then, I had to apply for a passport at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Manila. So 3 weeks later, I went there to collect my passport. To my horror, this passport officer said to me that he could not issue my passport because my name, Lim, sounded Chinese. I said to him that and he had to investigate my citizenship. So I said to him that I had already presented documents to show that I was born in the Philippines and my father was a naturalized Filipino. But no, he was not interested. He said, come back next week. So I went back next week. Again, no passport. He gave me the same reason and asked me to go back the next week. The third time I went there, I was really angry because he still wouldn't issue my passport. And I could see my dream job disappearing because the Hong Kong company has given me a deadline to arrive in Hong Kong, otherwise the offer will be withdrawn. While standing outside the passport office thinking what I should do next, I saw this man entering the passport office, and in less than 10 minutes he came out with a stack of passports in his hands. Out of desperation, I chased after him and asked him how he was able to get so many passports when I could not get even one. He looked at me and smiled and asked me, do you have 200 pesos? I said, yes. He said, give it to me. So I gave him 200 pesos. He went into the passport office, and in less than 5 minutes, he came out smiling. Lo and behold, in his hands was my new passport. I didn't know that there was a password for my passport, which is C-A-S-H, cash. I didn't know that person. I did not know his name. But what he did for me that day changed my life forever. What this stranger did for me is what I call a random act of kindness. He didn't know me. He did not have to help me. He could tell from my face that I'm ethnic Chinese. At a time when there was quite a bit of discrimination against ethnic Chinese, particularly in the government offices. But he helped me with no hesitation. Since that time, I decided that I was going to practice random act of kindness in my life. These days, when we read the newspaper, all we read about are acts of hatred, acts of violence, acts of murder, racism, negative acts which are being reported or sometimes glamorized in the media. Acts of kindness, acts of charity, acts of benevolence seldom get the attention they deserve. But by performing acts of kindness, we as individuals can make an impact on what's happening around us. Acts of kindness do not have to be big or material. It could be just words of encouragement or being generous with compliments. Perhaps we can start with our family and friends and extend it to strangers who need help along the way. Perhaps a brother or sister need our presence or financial support urgently, or a sick neighbor needs someone to buy some medicine, or just helping an elderly person cross the streets. Can you imagine a world where no one gives to each other, where what we're just concerned about are ourselves and our needs, but without considering other people? That surely would be a miserable place to live in. The world will be a much better place if we can show some kindness to others rather than showing aggression or violence as what's happening right now in some parts of the Middle East or Africa. When showing unconditional kindness and love, there are two amazing things happen. One, the recipient of our act of kindness is touched in more ways than we can imagine. A simple word of encouragement can change the life of someone who is down on his luck. Oftentimes we underestimate the power of a smile, of a touch, of a word on the lives of someone who's less fortunate than we are. But there's another miracle that happens when we show kindness, which is called the law of cause and effect. To explain this universal principle, consider what goes around comes around, or what the Hindus call karma. When we show unconditional love and kindness, that's what we will get back in return. Even though we perform an act of kindness without considering what we will get in return, you never know. One day, someone who was a recipient of your act of kindness might return the favor when you need it most. I'm sure most of you have performed acts of kindness in your life at one time or another. And likewise, you have received acts of kindness as well. But here's my challenge to you. Starting today, be adventurous. Intentionally set out to do one act of kindness every day. Do it not because you expect anything in return. Do it because you are a decent human being and that you want to be kind. I believe that very few things that happen in our lifetime will be remembered after we're dead. But an act of kindness may have a lasting effect on the lives of others. In closing, let me leave you with this, my favorite quotation from the American statesman, William Penn, who said, "I shall pass through this life but once. If therefore there be any kindness I can show, or any good thing I can do to a fellow being, let me do it now, for I shall not pass this way again."